Sadhu Kathamritam Tapta Jivanam Gavibhiviritam Kalmashapaham Sravana Mangalam Srimadatam Bhuvi Grinanti E Bhuridajana. The last time we were listening to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, when he was free monk, Master Mahashaya, he asked very humbly to Sri Ramakrishna Dev, how ought we to live in the world? That we were discussing, and Sri Ramakrishna's answer, he told, do all your duties, but keep your mind on God. This is a unique instruction. Most of the time, we have heard this: leave the world and come to me. Most of the time, we have heard that this world is illusion, full of misery. So obviously, the people are confused. Here, like Sri Krishna, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is also giving very practical instruction. What's that instruction? He is telling, do all your duties. You need not to leave the world. Those who will be leaving the world, they are people in time. So obviously, you are in the world and you have your responsibility. So do your duties. But at the same time, keep your mind on God. How? When he is giving the instances, like the maidservant in the house of a rich man. She is all the time doing the work, expressing in such a way that as if the household is hard. But actually, in the core of her heart, she knows this house do not belong to us. So sometimes we will be finding that this is very difficult. The where we are living, that house belongs to us. Suppose somebody has opened the window without my permission, immediately I feel agitated. Why? He has not asked me. And someone is coming to ashrama for a long time, a good devotee, slowly attachment, slowly possession, and that creates problem in the mind. Why you have to not keep this thing properly? Why it is this? Why it is that? It doesn't belong to you. But the first day we were coming to the ashrama, coming to the church, coming to the holy person, how we behave. We were all the time eager to know from the holy person. We were eager to help the ashrama. We never find any fault in that. That attitude has to continue all through the life. And that is the instruction. How we can do it? Like the maidservant. Mon chalo nija niketani. Oh mind, let us go back to my own abode, my own place. This is not my own. So this is the way. Some people who are there in the Mishra or in the Middle East countries where all the problems are there, they have done it as a tourist. So enjoying the scenario and enjoying all of the things, but not involved in the problems, day-to-day problem of this. Why? This is not ours. The same person, when he is coming back to their own places, they are reacting differently. Why? There, in the foreign country, he is a tourist. She is a tourist. When coming back to the own place, this belongs to me. This is my society, my country, our country. So this belongingness creates the problem. Why? Those who want to realize God, what they should do. Simple way, all the people will be telling yoga. Now is a craze. People all they like to learn yoga. Then they go for meditation. But what is meditation? This we have to understand. The meditation means detaching the mind from the present condition. Unless and until we can detach, we cannot go back to the original source. So Sri Ramakrishna in a very simple way, as if simple, but very difficult discipline that he teaches. Very difficult. Try to detach yourself. It's so difficult. One Swamiji, he used to sit on a table. Afterward, another Swami came and started, because he became senior, he was taken somewhere else. The moment he used to come over there, first thing he will do to that ashrama, he will go and sit. On the table, under that glass, he kept one picture, some picture scenario, whether it is still there or not. And when it was shifted from the right corner to the left hand corner, it was quiet. Usually people come and look at the right, not to the left. That's why I kept on the right, so that you will know sun rising, this. So much attention, attachment to only the picture. And he was only for that. But it's not so easy. But Thakur Sri Ramakrishna is giving very simple way how ought to live in the world. Master Mahashaya, who was a teacher, who has a family to look after, who was a householder, though inside he was always thinking to become a sannyasi, a monk, wanted to leave the hut and home, but he knew it is not possible because he has his responsibility. Obviously, this question was on the top of his mind. His answer was simple. Live like a medicine. That's all. Do all your duties. But don't be just. Then second he said, like the tortoise. We have discussed this. Then Sri Ramakrishna is telling, so the tortoise of the medicine is all right. But in practical, if you are going to practice this, what you have to do? If you enter the world without first cultivating love for God, you will be entangled more and more. We are entering into the world. World means a family, raising a family, marrying, raising a family, purchasing a house or a flat and car and all these things. One after another it goes on and on. But what happens if I know this is only for a few years? No, not that we break, but ultimately I have to leave that world. And if I have to leave, ultimately someday I will grow, someday I will become old, someday I will die. All these things will remain over here. So why should I be so much attached to this? If I think in that way, then it is totally different. So that is what Swami Sri Ramakrishna is doing. First, secure the oil of divine love. Oil of divine love. Why oil? The lubrication that we are applying on our mind. Why? Then the sticky condition of the world that won't be there. If that is there, then it is so difficult. Every moment we have to understand. In the life of Ma Sharadamani Devi, we find that when two of our brothers were fighting, Look at a small piece of land. A passage was there. One brother was living this side, another this side. Then one day they were quarreling. Mother, she was over there, she was the elder sister of the house. She came running, and then she was helping this brother, this brother. It is your fault, you should behave like this, you should not behave like. She was shouting, and the disciples, they came running to tell mother, don't be involved in that. But mother was not at all involved. She was behaving like that. Then afterwards, when both the brothers come down and went away, she came and sat on the veranda, started laughing. Look at these fools. Small plot of land that belongs to God, belongs to nature. And they think it belongs to me. And they are fighting. And we know sometimes people will be killing another person. And by that, they will be ruining themselves. Maybe that 30 years, 40 years imprisonment, just for one attachment. When you are in imprisonment, you also can't live properly, you can't enjoy. What is the fun in fighting? So what we need? A knowledge. And we have to bring out that knowledge. That's called discrimination. And that very moment, if it is there, from our subconscious mind, when it will come, the moment there will be a situation, there would be a problem, immediately from our subconscious mind, these thoughts will come up, will help us. And that is the reason one should go and listen to the discourses of the Holy Scripture. It's not that the moment we go and listen to the Holy Scripture, immediately we become religious, not at all. But ultimately, it helps. As Sri Ramakrishna is telling further, then again is telling, but one must go into solitude to attain this divine love. He is talking about the divine love. Love means attachment and very forceful attachment. Afterwards, we will come to that. To whom? With whom? God. At the moment we are loving God, then we are detached from the worldly thing. Two things are there only. One is world, one is God. One is temporary, another is permanent. And the more we grow, we understand the truth that this world is temporary. And the child who will never leave me, all the time that little son or the daughter is to go around me hanging and then clutching my hand. Now the moment they grow up, they don't look at us. How are you, mom? How are you, papa? That's all. Because they are busy. If we are hard, look at this. I have given so much of time for my son, spent so much of money for his education. The moment he got the job and married, now away from my family, never look at me. Who is suffering? Me. Why suffering? I don't know the truth of life. Whether I don't know or not, I am suffering. And that is called the oil or the lubricant that we should apply on our mind when we are entering into the Sangha. From the very beginning. It will be like this. Some people will praise and some people will criticize. Some people will praise for some interest. If that is fulfilled, then only they will come to you, they will be friendly with you, they will tell good things about you. If it is not there, immediately they will be opposed. All these things are there in this society. There is no other way. In our society, the same thing. If we go to Africa, if we go to India, if we go to Asian countries, America or Europe, same thing. Maybe the people, they are little different, language may be different, but in the society, same thing is doing. It is all. So the instruction is not only for those people sitting before Sri Ramakrishna, it's for all humanity. If you want peace, then this is the thing that you have to do. Then he was telling, then what you have to do, you must go into the solitude and to attain the divine love. And then he told, further, by meditating on God in solitude, the mind acquires knowledge, dispassion, and devotion. Just three words. Very important word in Hindu thought. The whole philosophy, having only this three. And this dispassion will come along with this is discrimination. The dispassion will come with discrimination. Vichar, vairagya. And this vairagya, viraga means dispassion. To what? To these things which is temporary. So now, three things he is telling: knowledge. What is the knowledge? We say in Sanskrit, the knowledge, the path of knowledge, path of devotion or bhakti, path of karma, path of meditation, of jnana. But what is the path of knowledge? What we have to do? Vedanta, 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 all the time we are telling what is that? Here it says, na jayate, the Atman, which is the source of everything, from which everything has come, on which everything is resting, surviving, in which everything will go back again. That's called Atman or Brahman. What is the quality of Brahman? No jayate, it is not God. It is not created. Someday it was the date of birth of such and such, it is nothing like that. There is nothing. It was all true. When we were not there, no one knew about Atman. Atman was there. Swami Vivekananda is telling, this is the truth. Satya. Whether you accept it or not, whether you know it or not, whether you believe it or not, it is there. Law of gravitation was there before it was discovered by Newton. And it will be there even if people forget. Similarly, this not jayate, it's not God. Now mriyate, it is no death. Now vartate, it never grow or increase. Now because it never did. That is not. The whole of Vedanta, the whole of Veda speaks like this. And Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, who never attended any school, perhaps only first standard or second standard, or first standard perhaps, he went. After he stopped going over there, he knew, because he realized, like the rishis. And when one of his disciples, he stopped coming to, visiting to Sri Ramakrishna, and Sri Ramakrishna inquired from others, why he is not coming? When he is studying Veda, very serious. Please ask him to come and let him talk to me. When the young boy came, Sri Ramakrishna said, what is there in the Veda you are studying? Only one line, Brahma Satya Jagannitha. Is there anything else? This world is temporary, Mitha means illusion. And Brahma means that particular truth or knowledge, Satya, that is existing. And now, knowing this, if you go on reading the verses, books, then analysis, you will become a Pandit. You will become a scholar. You will write books. You will go and give lectures. but it won't help you. What you have to do, you have to realize it. Then it will. If you are not realizing, it's nothing. So this is the thing you have to realize. In Bhagavad Gita, it says, Dvam imo purusho loke shara cha akshara eva cha shara sarvani bhutani utastha akshara uchyate. There are two types of existences there. When you see the human being, yes, they are there. But they are Shara and Akshara. It comes to these. One is temporary, apparent. Another is permanent. Which is changing, that is apparent. We all are changing, constantly changing. When you were young, you were so nice, so beautiful. When you became young, the soul, muscle, and all the powerful and all beauty of the mind and the physical, all that is there, people are attracted. When you slowly grow old, a few days earlier, one gentleman rang me and he was, how are you? I am fine. Only my kids are not good. What happened? One, he told out of all the kids, only one is remaining. So I am thinking to remove that so that I will take from them. Now, I knew him from such a long time and now he is not having the kids. And this is obvious, everybody will have that. And shall I go on crying, oh, what will happen to me? When will you know me? What will happen to me when I grow old? Nobody does like that. You grow like that, you understand that. It is also same. We know that we are here, but it is temporary. And what we have to do, we have understood from the scriptures, from the holy people, that there is something which is called God, which is permanent. I and my Father in heaven are one, Jesus said. Father in heaven are one. This is Vedanta, Advaita. Some people explaining it in a different way, maybe I don't know. But this is very clear to us in this sense, that God and me are one. Then why I am dying? Why I am suffering? Why I am laughing? Why I am crying? God doesn't do that. So how can I be saying apparent and the real? The real and the apparent. The real thing is there, and this is the apparent, but inside, actually, this is real. When I see a reflection of sun on a water, suppose I have kept water in a bucket, and sun's reflection is there, the same sun. Of course, it is there, but apparent, temporary. The moment I will throw away the water, there will be no sun, no reflection. But till the water is there, sun is there, reflection is there. And that, till that time, reflection is true to me, but apparent. So this is called jnana. Then, there are two types of purusha in this film. One is spirit, one is shara, perishable, and another is akshara. Understanding this one is not. Whatever we see, so many multimedia, so many names, so many forms. The other day, we went to see the chocolate. It's really somewhere over here. And the chocolate and me are same. Same thing. But the knowledge portion is very, very little in that, and little more in me. So that is the difference. And when I look at the Lord Buddha, Jesus, Sri Ramakrishna, their knowledge is far more better than me. So this is only degree, difference is in degree. So here, knowledge is what? that God is there, but we can't see it. When we can't see it, how can we believe it? Then one day, Uddala, he was teaching his son, Shvetaketu. Shvetaketu afterwards became very famous. But that time he was a very young boy. Then Uddala was telling him that God is there. But I can't see. Atman is here, present everywhere. The child is telling, but I can't see, Father. You are telling, but how can I believe it? Then to teach him, he says, can you please bring that fruit to me? He got the fruit. Will you please break it for me? He brought it. What is there? So many hundreds of seeds. Okay, take one seed out of that. Very tiny little seed. Break it. He broke it. What is there? It's nothing. Listen. The child of Dala said, there is nothing. The shaking it. It's nothing. Then the Uddala, the father, said, it is there, but you can't see that now. That huge tree that you see, the banyan tree, it is there in that seed, the small seed. When you are breaking, you can't see, but potentially that huge tree is there. Similarly, when you look at a person, you can see anything, but potentially God is there. This is the knowledge. When we speak about the knowledge, this is knowledge. Then afterwards he is telling, why can't we see? Why can't we realize? Why can't we feel? Because of our attachment. Of course, sometimes we can remove the attachment and we have left our own people, our own country, our own society. We have become monks, sannyasis. We are living with other people in other countries, in other society. Does it mean that really we have been able to remove that attachment? Then in Bhagavad Gita it says, Ashwatthamenam Shuriruda Moolam. The Moola, the root is very, very big. Because this Ashwatha, a particular type of tree, plant, you can see, and that goes into a big tree. If you even cut the roots, even then from here, again it will grow. If you don't give water, you don't give manure, it will grow. That's why this Ashwatthamenam Shuriruda Moolam. It is always there. When we sing the prayer song in the evening, Swami Vivekananda composed that song. Here he is telling, Tyaji Jati Ulo Man. Tyaji, by renouncing Jati, Ula and Man. Very good. It's very good. The place where it was is always good. And the people among whom we grew up is always in our mind. Jati and Kula, the family. And Mana means Ahankara. So we are praying to God. Please remove all these things. Then only we can be able to realize who is Ramakrishna, who was above all this. Otherwise it is so difficult, so difficult. Constantly will be thinking and talking like this. Culture is different. And attachment to that culture is different. There's nothing wrong when I say I belong to that and I love this type of food, this type of dress, this type of language, this type of culture. There's nothing wrong in it. But the moment we say this is only the best and all others, okay, they are there but we don't do it. That is that. So here he is telling what to do. Shastra Vakka and Guru Vakka. The scripture and the preceptor of the Guru. These are the two. We have to believe in him. And then only we can cut the ignorance. Dirhena chitva. Dirhena. One American boy, he joined Islam with us. He didn't stay in America. He went all the way to India and Vedanta. Many of you can understand the summer in Vedanta. Unbearable. It's so hot. And there is no fan even. Forget about the air condition. It was burning when we need so much of sweat, the whole body. And most of us, we were to see just in a bare body like that, constantly. The sweat is going on. This young man used to go in the noontime after food, used to go to the Ganges and to sit inside the water after this. 3, 4, 5 hours he used to stay inside the water. But when the authority said, go back to America, we'll put you over there, Why? I like to forget that I am an American. I like to forget that I was born over there. I don't like to see the faces any one of my countries. I don't even like to live there. Dirhena chitva. That's why when a person becomes a monk, sannyasi, he goes away, far away from his family. And there, he will be there for 12 years. Then only he is allowed to come and visit his mother. After 12 years, it is expected that all that attraction will be removed. All that attachment. But unfortunately, we do not understand and immediately we associated this Swami, that Swami. It's not like that. They're totally different. And the devotee also helps them to remember that. Never mention about the jati, ruler, and all this. So he was from Veda. Sometimes even the Swamis will speak about, that was my mother, that was my sister, that was my brother, that was my place. It's not. Because the new birth, a sannyasi, a monk means a new birth. We'll be going and burning all our past in the fire before the God, before the Lord. And that is Dirhena chitva. How we can cut that? Asanga shastrena. Asanga means there is no attachment. And here it comes, Ena sarvam parityaktam sa vidwan sacha panditaha. Mahabharata is saying, who can be called as a pandita? As a learned man? As a realized soul? Vidwan, pandita. How one can be said like that? Mahabharata. See, Mahabharata is a history. It's giving the description of all our society. And at the same time, it is a religious book. That's why most of the European scholars and historians couldn't understand it properly. It's a history. But even in the history, they talk about the truth. Jivan Satya. So that is the reason, Ena Sarvam Parityaktam, who, after renouncing everything, Sarvam Parityaktam, renouncing everything, he who can do that? He is a Vidwan, he is a Pandita. So Sri Ramakrishna said, go in the solitude, sit over there, meditate, and get knowledge, get love. It's so easy. He thinks like that. No. It's so difficult. We have a retreat center and really very good center at Ganges, many of you know, Michigan. There we have wonderful arrangement. We people, we go over there, but what do they do? This is the question. Do we really go over there for meditation with a goal to realize that I am Atman? With a goal to realize that all these things that I see is nothing but illusion? it will never remain, or name, fame, beauty, nothing is going to be with me someday. We can't. So that is why it's believed. One gentleman asked a nun. She was highly respected, always happy. Mother, how could you reach that state? Then she said, "Sab chode. I gave up everything, so I got this." And in Hindi there is a saying, "Sab chode, sab paoge." If you leave everything, you will get everything. And this is so true. Even in our life we have seen. We live in a small family. Belong to my mother, father, one brother, one small family. And we have got the whole world as our family. Wherever we go, people are so eager to feed us, to keep us in their homes, to give us the gift of the clothing, gift. Every time they will come and ask, "Do you need anything?" We have got everything. Sab chode. We left everything. Sab paoge. We got everything. This is true. But suppose you leave everything and stand on the street and say, "I have left everything, now give everything." No. I'm a homeless. Give me everything. Will they give? No, nobody. Nobody will turn to you. So what you are asking for, that is important. छोड़ना तो आसान है, सब कुछ छोड़ ही दिया. But if we have left everything, then what? For what we have left? For God. The moment you are leaving everything for God, that very moment, the whole world will come to help you. And that proves the existence of God. Some people will be doubting, is there God? This is the truth. Look at the lives of saints and sages, not in the modern age. Hundreds and thousands of years, all the lives, if we read, excellent. And that proves the existence of God. So this is his say, and then he is telling, in a very simple way, so is it really so? No, because in our ahamkara, Ramakrishna is telling, practice spiritual discipline in solitude and obtain the water of knowledge and love. We find in the Veda about the knowledge, Atma, about the knowledge. In the whole of the Upanishad, they never spoke about the love. They always spoke about the discrimination, distraction, and knowledge, Atman. This about the love, this conception came in the Purana. Why? Because they understood it is not easy for ordinary people, all people, to understand the knowledge, path of knowledge. Only very few can do it. So obviously for the whole mass, then they have introduced the path of love, path of bhakti. And in the bhakti, we develop a relation with God. Shanta, Dasya, Vatsalya, Shakya, Madhura. So these are 5 types of relation. I love my God as my beloved. That is also there. And when they are doing like that, thinking like that, constantly remembering like that, they are realizing God. And some people will be thinking God as their own child, Vatsalya, constantly thinking, "Oh, my God has not eaten, not properly dressed, not properly decorated." So constantly, that is important, the word, constantly. It's not sometimes we think and then most of the time we forget. It is not devotion. And what is devotion? Tad arpita, akhila acharata, tad vishmarani, parama vyakulata iti. And who says? Narada, who is a great devotee, but a great knower of Brahman also. He knows, he has a great knowledge. At the same time,
he enjoy having a relation with God, constant company of God. And when the God is with me, sitting with me, talking with me, it is a joy. It's not madness. This is the joy. Some people, they may think like that. And just by thinking, sometimes they start thinking that that is true. It is not. When you say true, then the whole personality changes. You become so loving, so compassionate. Sure, we go and when you see the beam of heart is so attractive. Because the manifestation of God is here in that mind. So, tad arpita, akhila acharata, is a very famous, and that is applicable for Sri Ramakrishna's devotion. When the Sri Ramakrishna is talking about the law of the bhakti, it is mixed with knowledge and devotion. What is knowledge? God only exists and nothing else. But to go to Him, go to God, only discrimination is impossible. So I start loving, liking, attaching with God. And that way I am doing. What I will do, Akhila Acharata, this is very important. We cannot remain unattached. So we have to do some work. We cannot remain without work. Even if we are quietly sitting, what is going on? That is also work, very powerful work. And that way, tad arpita akhila acharata, the moment I will know, and that thought is there on the top of my mind, I am going to give it to God. Can I give it back to God? No. When I offer to God, the best thing I always offer, the best flower, the best sweet, the best gift, everything best I give to God. And similarly, the action that I am going to offer, the thinking action, obviously I am cautious. The thought that is there in my mind I am going to offer to God. Can that be greedy thoughts? Selfish thoughts? No. I am ashamed. Oh my God, how can I give it to God? So that consciousness constantly, when it is there inside the mind, that helps us. We are always alert, as Bhagavan Buddha in Buddhism they say, apramatta bhava, always alert, always conscious. I cannot feel anything bad because I have to keep this thought dedicated to God. So my thought should be pure, my action should be pure, my life should be pure. And slowly what happens? I become pure. So that is why tad arpita akhila acharata. And then another test is there. Tad vishmarane paramo vyakulata. The plan. Oh, how could I forget my God? If that is there, genuinely, sincerely, in our mind, know it for sure, the love has dawned in your mind. So that's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is giving, you see, practice spiritual discipline in solitude and obtain the water of knowledge and love. Together with this, must practice discrimination. Unless and until we have the discrimination. What is discrimination? When you go to the some hotel or some place of eating, then the list is there. They there is discrimination. You purchase this one. This is good, tasty, at the same time not very costly. So this is according to me good. So the discrimination is there. So many things are there before me. But I have to choose. I have to find out what is good and what is not. The discrimination is very, very bizarre. We have to go on discriminating. I'm sorry because I didn't receive, I didn't get that. This is really what we, I think I told you the story of a gentleman who thought that he will commit suicide because he was not promoted. Almost at the large of his retirement, only 2 years were left or so. Someone else, a junior, was promoted. He was so upset. He decided to commit suicide. But somehow, I told him, if you look at those poor people, the rickshaw pullers, they're poor people, but they're so happy. They earn only 50 rupees, Indian rupees, or 60, not maximum. But still they're so happy. You are earning so much. You have a house, you have a family, and you have a respect in the society, but still you are satisfied. God has given you so many things. And this was not for you. Vichar. This, the moment you think that, you are satisfied. The moment you are not getting something, be sure you are not supposed to get that. So there will be no problem. This is called vichar. And then it's come Vairagya. When you are discriminating the temporary from the permanent, that is called spiritual vichar. This is temporary thing, and this is the permanent. If I go for this, for some time I will enjoy, but ultimately I will suffer. And this is permanent. If I go for this, if I can get it all through for eternity, I'll be happy. Here, Adi Sankaracharya is giving the definition of Vairagya, highest. Tad Vairagyam, Jihasa. Vairagya and Jihasa. Jihasa means tyaga, renouncing. Tad Vairagyam, Jihasa, ya Darshanam Sadhana Vivihi. Even by seeing and hearing, Darshana, seeing, Sadhana Vivihi, hearing, Dehadi, from this body, Brahma, Vajjante, Anitya Bhovavasini. After the Brahman, the Creator, the God, after that, I don't want anything. That is called Vairagya. It's nothing like that. Very, very good. I told you that God who came to me suddenly and told how to become a monk. And I was so busy that time, I had no time to discuss about that. And I just commented. In Calcutta it happened. There's a book fair was going on, and you can imagine the pressure. So many hundreds of people they came. And he asked me this question. Actually, I told, well, we take a towel and go away. That's all. Next day, his brothers and all they came because he discussed with his brother, told my name and my address. So they came to the ashrama and they were telling, my brother is not there and one towel is missing. So obviously, he must have done something. I don't know. Of course, I commented like that, but I never knew that he is so sincere. Listening to my advice. So this is the way we have to think. One landlord was here. And in those days, you know the landlord, he was always searching for fun. There's no other thing in their life. Because lot of money, lot of power, what they will do? By spending time only with fun. And go and visit that man, or go and fight with that, or go for hunting, go for this, go for that. And he was passing time in that way. Almost in his when he was very aged, senior. One day he was passing, suddenly he heard one lady addressing her daughter Bela je jar. All time has passed. Bela, the time. Je jar. Bashunai agundi. Bashuna means the dry tree. The village people will be saying Basana. Dry plantain leaf. Agundi. And there, they want to leap in the fire so that they will boil the water, something. So the mother told her daughter, go and lit the fire. Because there is no much time. Sun is setting. Bela je jar, Vasana, Agundi. Simple word of the village people. Dad, he used to be, really. Now I am so old. All my life I have stayed like that. Then what I am going to do? I have never thought about God. And there is no much time left for me. From then and there, he left for Vrindavan. He went over there in the Vrindavan and sat over there. Of course, he was a rich man, so he constructed a house and started living over there and constantly meditating, thinking, and going for the company of the holy people, reading scriptures, staying that life. Lala Babu Kunja. You know, those who are reading the life of Holy Mother and the Ramakrishna books, you know, the Lala Babu was a very famous. Even though he was spending life in like that, the moment it struck, we do not know when thing is going to happen. It was clear in his subconscious mind that Vairagya. At that Vairagya, immediately it came like a fountain when that word listened. So this is what's called Guru Bhakti. When the Guru Bhakti touches the heart, immediately, maybe, if the potentiality is there, whole fountain will come and there will be gushing of the Vairagya immediately. And here another is telling Yavat Sarvamna Samtatyam. As long as everything is given away, Samtyaktam Tavat Atma Namakrishna. Till then you cannot realize God. Saint Francis of Assisi is a very famous saint in Christendom. And he was a very rich person. His life was the life of a rich man's life, enjoying. Suddenly he saw in dream the Lord Jesus is telling him, my church is tilting. Go and help the church to be erect. He thought, church is tilting. Maybe there's some church to construct it because of the earthquake or something in the city. Okay, and you go and reconstruct. He went and really found a church tilted. He demolished the church and then reconstructed the church and then told the God, well, you came to me, you asked me to do this, I've done it. Let's go. See, whole church trembled. Then he understood this is not the thing that the God has done. What to do? Then within his mind, that thing came. I have to live a very holy life. So the people will admire Christianity, admire the teachings of Jesus. This life, excellent life. When we are young brahmacharis, joined the monastic order, our seniors they gave their book, read this life, inspiration. And he was really so. One day he was so cold, it was all snowing, he couldn't get any morsel of food. He was walking, he went to the town, but nobody offered food to him. He was coming back, he was thirsty, he was hungry, and because of the cold, he wanted some place of work. Then when he was walking, he found the nearby houses. All people are enjoying music, eating, drinking, and the smoke is coming out. And that means the room is also very warm. They're enjoying the winter. Then he says, wow, I have not realized God. And I had all these things, much more, and I have left that. I have left that one, I didn't get this one, am I a fool? The moment the thought came in his mind, immediately he started slapping his own head. Why this thought should come in my mind? Why this thought should cross my mind? I am totally dedicated to God. If God wants that I should die over here in hunger and heart and cold, I will die. Let me. Then he went and dug the snow, put himself up to this, up to the neck. All night he was there. He was supposed to die. Instead, the villagers, they saw that sunlight is coming in the midnight. How is it? How sun can come in the midnight? Then they came out and saw, no, there is a Francis who is meditating in that condition, and all the glow of his face is just burning like the sun. She realized. And there is a wonderful story also of St. Francis. People are not coming to listen to the religion. There is obvious evidence. If you like to tell some good thing, nobody wants to listen. And if you say something bad, thousands will come and you have to sell tickets. And obviously, nobody was coming to attend his lecture. So one day he went to the village in control. Francis is going to marry. And at a time, three ladies will come in my life. All people are taking about, what is that we do? Let us go and see. It will be great fun. He is going to marry three. And they knew that he was a very rich man. Maybe they were thinking that he is returning back to his old life. All people came. Then he said, purity, patience, and poverty are my three vows. Purity, patience, and poverty. That is, yavat sarvam na samtaktam, as long as you are not giving away everything. Tavat atma navadhati. So, Sri Ramakrishna says, what is vichara? What is discrimination? He is teaching his young disciples. Suppose you are peeling an onion. What do you find? So from over, we are going on, peeling. So many covers are there. Ultimately, what is there? Nothing. Wrong. There is there. What is there? Atman is everywhere. Even in that. But you cannot find because at this moment you are not ready. The moment your mind will be ready, you can see that God, that Atman, everywhere. But the problem is, there is constantly, there will be all these things before us. The beauty, the name, the fame, the position, the power, so many things. Just imagine that you are the governor of Illinois. So many people will come. If the governor comes over here, in the country, all the reporters will be here. So many hundred people will be here. All they will be ready to come and shake hands with the governor. Why? Special person? No. Position. Because he is having some power to take decision. He's everywhere. The people, they always love to go after power, after name, after some, I don't know, the names of the actor and actresses. Any one of them, if they come over here, I went to Hollywood. And then they took me to that footpath. And then the footpath, the pathway, all names are there. One star, cement or something star, the name of all the cinema artists, actresses are there. People are walking over there. But those names are very famous. And people are dying to have carved his or her name over there, over which people will be walking. Look, it is there. Why people will walk on my name? But still, that is the. And these administrators are so clever. They will be taking money from those people only, whose name will be there written. The money is from them. And then for the maintenance you have to pay. Only thing, people are coming and looking, oh, this is that. So this is all vagaries, nothing else. So many people came, so many went away. So when the small boy went to Yama, Nachiketa, a very famous character in the Upanishad, he wanted to know the truth. Yama wanted to test. Is it really going to do that? He said, young man, why you are coming over here and asking me that knowledge? There is no use for you now. Even the gods never prayed for that. Look at those things. All that is very, very impossible to achieve in your life, I will give it to you. Not only that, as long as you desire, that will be with you. Tavaiva vaha, tava nritta bhite. That's a famous word of Nachiketa. When he saw all those things, or if anyone be encouraging this young boy of 18 years old, he said, sir, all these things that it remain with you, I don't want. I want only knowledge, the knowledge of Atman. I know today, 1,000 years afterwards, this is going to go away, decay. I don't want this. Tavaiva vaha, tava nritta bhite. All this joy, it is up to you. I don't want. Swami Vivekananda, when he was hankering, begging for a job, because his mother was starving, brothers were starving, and they were so rich. Now suddenly they became poor. They cannot go for begging to people. They are starving, silently, suffering. He came to Sri Ramakrishna, the man, the person who could give everything to him. And he said, go, today is Tuesday. Today is also Tuesday. And Sri Ramakrishna said, whatever you will pray sincerely to Mother, she will give it to you. I am telling you. I believe it. If you want anything, come and pray on Tuesday and Saturday. It was very nice, good day, because in that day he promised that he will give. Pray, prayer will be answered. And this young man, Vivekananda, he went to beg something, request for something by which he can earn some money. Give me a job so that I can earn money and I can maintain my family. He went, what he saw? The Divine Mother. And what he begged for, requested, prayed for, not all these things. Why? He knew today or tomorrow, someday, brother, mother, myself, everything will pass away. Everybody will die. Whole thing will change. Why should I give for that? Why should I request for that? My prayer is, give me knowledge, give me devotion, give me purity, unselfishness. So that is exactly what one can do who has this. Then in one couplet you say, how? So many days I am praying and searching for God, but I don't find God. Then someone is telling him, as if God is telling him, मैं तो कहाँ ढूंढो बंदे, मैं तो तेरा पास हूँ, खोजोगे तो अभी मिलूंगा, पल भर के कल्लास में. It's not pure Hindi, it's a different language. मैं को, actually it is pronounced as मोको. कहाँ ढूंढो बंदे, where you are searching me, मोको कहाँ ढूंढो. Not means searching me. Moko tera paas mo. I am always with you. Then he is telling, Khojoge to abhi milunga. This is important. If you are searching me, first sentence he is telling where you are searching. The second he is telling, if you really search me, Khojoge to abhi milunga. You will get me right in this moment. Khojoge to abhi milunga. Pal bhar ke tallasma. Just like a blink of your eye, you will get me. This is important. How to call God? That is love. That is our Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is teaching. Again and again, we will learn that. This is the words of knowledge. The knowledge that will take us to God. And that is why I always prefer to say Panchama Veda. So we will discuss about this, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, in our next Tuesday class. Come, let us now pray to God and continue. So opposite the page there is a mantra here. Many of you must be knowing. Niranjanam Nityam Anantarupam Bhaktanukampa Vita Vigraham Vai Ishavataram Parameshamidhyam Tam Ramakrishna Shirasanamama. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.